Good afternoon, lovely people. So it's Sue's Crystal Wolf from Crowfire Artwitchery. So I thought I would come on and show you some bits that I've started for my practice. So I've got a few things on the go. So a good couple of years ago, it was winter solstice, and I made this wall hanging. I do tend to have it hanging up all year round, which is a bit weird as I made it for winter solstice. And the reason I made it in the colours that I made it, you might think it should have been darker or something because it was winter. It's because the sun is coming back to life. And so it just felt right, these colours. So I did golds and oranges and yellows. There are quite a few browns in there. Some pops of blue, I just added them. I don't know why, they just went in. I don't really plan stuff as such. I might have colours in mind, and then I go with that theme, or I just go with little bits and pieces that come up, and it just ends up. I got a few twigs on here, some metal bits and stuff, and some silk cocoons, some tie-vac. Anyway, so this piece, like I say, I made a good couple of years ago, literally on winter solstice. Well, not literally the whole day. I did, like, it was made over a few days. I don't think it took me that long because I was so excited with it. I couldn't put it down. I just carried on. But I mean, it probably took a good couple of weeks, and it started with this piece here, like a load of my work does. So I had this one square that I'd already made. I mean, I'd had that a long time, and I've got foiling on there. It was, yeah, there was foiling on there. I'd coloured it with my brushos, and that was how I started. So then what I do is I grab some a nice strip of calico, and that's what I work on. And that piece I coloured. So quite often I'll just colour the background first, and then I just start stitching on it and adding stuff to it. But I was looking at that piece, it was hanging up, and I was like, I want to start really, really working with my seasons. Last year, I came to the conclusion that the wheel of the year just doesn't work for me because it's basically Wiccan, and I'm not Wiccan. I'm a witch, but I'm not Wiccan. I don't follow Wicca. And I never really contemplated it. I just got stuck in the groove of, oh, well, you know, you celebrate Beltane, you celebrate, I must admit, I do like Samhain, but you celebrate all these festivals, and I never questioned myself. I never questioned why. I just got into the groove of following it. And last year I had quite an epiphany, and I was like, what on earth am I doing? It's not part of, it shouldn't be part of my practice. It doesn't work. But in saying that, I've always followed seasons, and I think that's my connection to the I Ching. I've always, I don't even know when I started with the I Ching. And I like that Chinese philosophy. I just connect in with the energies of nature and the seasons, and I now, which I have done for the last, since about 2018, I bought Kelly Harrell's book on the runes, which is basically a wheel of the year of the runes, which is where you get runic astrology from, because the runes go round the year in 2-week periods. So a rune is over 2-week period and round the year, because obviously there's 24 runes, and there's only 12 months. So, and that I follow, and that I love, and that makes sense, and I connect in with the runes. So at the moment we're in the half month of Sewello, and I like that because I can work with my rune. I can do deeper dives when that rune is about. Also, obviously, if I'm looking at my birth runes, I can get into that. If you want to know anything about your birth runes or anything like that, go on to Magin, Magin, maginrose.com, and all the information's there. She does birth rune charts. That's where I got mine done. And she's got Birth Rune Soul Journey, which is a course that is ongoing. We have a get together once a month on Zoom to go through all different aspects of our rune charts and things, and there's so much information in it, so it's fantastic. And that is massive part of my practice, absolutely massive. So I sat there thinking, and I was looking at this because this was hanging on the wall, and I was like, do you know what, I need to make one for each of the seasons so that I can put them up and connect in, and it just hit me like really hard. So I got together, I cut some strips of calico, and I got together some fabrics that I thought were springy for me, the colours that I feel were spring. And I've started this piece. I didn't colour my calico back piece, but I had this, I was going to say wild crochet. Not wild crochet, what's it called? Oh my goodness. Freehand, no. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. Where you just literally sit and crochet and there's no pattern, and you just, I have no clue what it's called at the moment. We're going to call it wild because I like that, wild crochet. So I done this piece with this thick and thin yarn, and then I went around the outside with a crochet yarn so it's thinner, and I had that in a bag, and I was like, that's spring. That is so spring. So that's going on. I've got a piece of felt at the back there. I loved the colour. It's such a bright green. And then I've got little strips of fabric that I had done on my gel plate, or this piece here has been done with a, oh God, here we go. I can't think what they're called. Crayon type things, not crayons. It'll come to me at some point. And then I've got tie-vac pieces. I cut a nice pink circle there. I've got a little butterfly that I'd done, had in a bag of stuff. Some more tie-vac. I've got another wild piece of crochet. Again, thick and thin yarn, different ones. I've edged it with a funny tufty yarn there. This is an eco printy thing that I did. I had these and I've had them for a very long time. I didn't know what I was going to do with them, but I thought, oh my God, that goes on there lovely. This was I bought some circle frames to do some circle weaving, because all my other frames aren't circle. I wanted to make some circle. I made that one and I thought, oh, it's quite springy colours, so I've added that. And yeah, so I'm going along. Another piece of the like where I'd put leaves on and stained them on the fabric. This is a piece of fabric backing that obviously has a glue on it. So I literally painted it, and then I put some foils on it and ironed it, and because it's sticky, it sticks to it. So and then I use die cut. This is great stuff. I've done this on another piece where I literally cut out some butterflies. So there's another piece. So I'm near the bottom. I haven't got a lot to go, but it will then, I'll add loads of stuff to it, some beads and other bits. So that's what I've done, and I'm going to do another 3. So I'm going to leave this as a piece that I made and probably keep this up every year, all the time, because I love it anyway. And then I'm going to make another one that will cover winter solstice, just because I think I'd like to make the set of 3. So that's part of what I'm doing. Let me have a sip of my tea. And like I say, I've got all little bits in this little bag. Some more, bag, move my tea again. So I've got more Tyvek in the colours. That won't be going on it. I think that's more summer. It could even be autumn, that one. Let me move that out of the way. Yeah, so I've got bits in there. I'm just going to carry on and fill that up and then start to add. Here's my pieces that I've coloured. Some brush show, and then that crayony stuff, and I still can't think what they're called. The kids' art tempera paint sticks. Yay! I knew it would come to me in the end. Tempera paint sticks. So I've used on that. I think I'm out of shot. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to finish the spring one, and then I'll probably start the others as we get near the time. So the other thing I did, which I was really pleased with, is I put out my chart for the seasons and give me my rune, and I was really pleased with this. I thought I love it. I've done a little bit of stamping on it. I've got the nice pentagram in the middle, and I've got my runes round. So I've got December the 21st, which is winter solstice doorway, and the Yarrow rune. And then I realised this morning I made a big boob here. So we've got 1st of February, late winter, early summer. No, early spring. And I'm calling them gateways. So I'm calling the bit in between the gateway. So that would basically be in bulk. I'm not going to be doing in bulk. But I am going to be connecting in with the energy of spring or early spring, and working with that energy as a gateway with the algaes rune, because that rune is, is in that 2-week period of the half months. So I'll work with each rune as I get to these 8 points of the year. I was going to work with 4 points of the year, but I actually like the gateway that I call a gateway. So you're literally going from one bit to another. So it's a liminal space, and I love liminal space energy. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, and you're not keen on that energy as you're shifting from one energy into another energy. But I like that. So I've just cut out the names. So I've got the 1st of February. And the other thing that I've done is I've put them as anchored points. So I'm going to do the 21st of December, the 21st of June, the 21st of September, the 21st of March. I know they differ in and out by a day or two. I'm not going to. I want it to be simplified, and so I'm just going to keep to those dates. So it's going to be the 1st for the gateways of a month, and the 21st for the doorways. So I've got to do this again because I made a blunder, but I thought I'd show you my blunder because we all do it. So then I've got the 21st of March, which is the spring doorway, and that is the Bacano rune. So I want to start working on this energy because, you know, we're going to be going into that energy. So I want to make another shield with the Bacano rune. So that's on my list of makes. Then we come round to late spring, early summer, the 1st of May. That is actually correct. And that gateway is, the rune is Largouze. So I will obviously do some workings with Largouze. So the reason that I wanted to do this was so that I could get my practice with some foundation, which, you know, can change every year. So how I work with Largouze this year might be completely different next year, making items that connect with those energies. So like with the spring, you know, straight away I'm thinking daffodils and things. That reminds me. So you can look at plants and crystals and trees, and also you can tailor the practice to yourself and to where you live. So obviously it'd be reversed in the southern hemisphere, but again, you could still work, because you're not going to work in the southern hemisphere with plants that are only in the UK or somewhere in Europe. I'm not going to work with Mediterranean plants because they're not, you know, they're not my plants. They're not on my soil. So it's a lovely way of connecting with your own soil, with where you live. So it really grounds your practice, and it tailors your practice. You know, if you look online, you'll find things that connect. You know, you could look up what crystal associations are with spring, and then you can look through them and you can go, yeah, I agree with all of them. They make sense if you know your crystals and you work with crystals. But if you're not so sure, but you want to use a crystal, you could douse the ones that are down and see, you know, if one comes up. But if one comes up for you and you just think, oh, that just feels like spring to me, go with it. Go with your gut. Go with your intuition. It doesn't matter what someone else is saying. This is about you tailoring your practice to yourself. So I quite agree with quite a lot of the crystals that are associated with spring anyway. Aventurine definitely feels very springy. Rose quartz feels quite springy. Citrine definitely feels springy to me. So yeah, I'll probably have a selection because I do work with crystals, and then also then I can connect that with my Bacano. You've already got an association when you think of Bacano and spring, because the birch tree, which Bacano does stand for, birth, rebirth, renewal, regeneration, you know, all that new beginnings. The birch tree, that is what it stands for. If there's a fire in the forest, the first tree that comes back to life is the birch tree. It's the first one that will sprout from, you know, the burnt ground. So birch is absolutely covers spring. It is totally the tree, and that the Bacano works really lovely because Bacano is seen as that as well, and birth. So yeah, so I need to do a new one of these. Really angry because I messed up. I laminated it. And the reason I laminated it is because I didn't want it to get ruined, and I don't want to make one every year. I wanted to just make one that I could have and, you know, just have as a representation. I mean, it could go on the wall. I mean, I could have put it in a frame, I suppose. And I've got loads of laminated pouches. I know people aren't using laminators anymore because of the plastic, and I totally get that. But I've got loads to use up, so I just feel that I might as well use them up You know, what am I going to do with them? Otherwise I'm going to throw them in the bin, so that's just as bad. At least if I use them up, I've got pieces that, you know, I'll keep forever, until I'm not here, and then I don't know what will happen with my stuff then. But yeah, what I think I might cut round this bit and cut that out, and then I might keep that and go from there. The other thing I thought would be nice is to make a book, because I have these papers that I bought to start doing booklets with, and I thought, yeah, I could do that. So I've just really simple. I might put some colour around the background. I might use some like watercolour brushos in the background. I should have done the background first and then put that on, but you know, I didn't. I was excited to put it down. After I saw how lovely that looked, I wanted to get it down, and so that's what I've done. And then I thought I'd just make a booklet with spring things in. I'll have lists of crystals, maybe pictures of crystals. And these will be ongoing. You know, I might not finish these this year. I might carry on next year. I might just add to them. I don't know yet. I will sew them. They will be sewn. And then the other thing was I keep wanting to make I'm gonna have to get up because I've dropped something on the floor. Bear with me. So I wanted to do a scroll, a paper scroll like Kylie Koo did. I know I'm doing a material one, and if you want to see my material one, it's over on my other channel, which is Crowfire Soul Crafting, which is where I do my more generic art that isn't necessarily attached specifically. I mean, all my art is spiritually based in that I connect with spirit to do it, but it's not specific. These are specific. This is why I set up this channel, to make where I can chat spiritually as I'm showing you my art and going through or making stuff. Because my other channel would scare off a lot of people if I started talking runes and stuff. I do find it difficult not to talk runes, but yeah, so I thought I would make a paper scroll like Kylie Koo's, because I love it, but she's doing a 52-week one. I just love the way she's done it. It's just absolutely stunning. And then I thought, no, I want to be a bit different. And I don't want to, I'm too late for 52 weeks anyway. I'd have to really start working to catch up. And I thought it'll be better to make something that is more connected with my practice and stuff. So let me just see if that's a bit better, I think. So what I decided to do yesterday, I got some, so I've got those sheets of paper that I bought, and so I literally folded it in half a bit. I didn't like make a crease as such, and then I just ripped it in 4. It's an A4 size, and it gives you 4 sort of nice pieces. And then I got the brushos out, and I just laid them on here, and I threw colours on. They are quite bright. They're possibly a bit bright for spring, but I could put some white bits on, but I'm quite happy with them. So how Kylie's done it, so she, like, as she's going along, she then glues them down and sews and you know, is making this long lovely scroll. And I thought, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I was really up for that is what I'm going to do. And then as I looked at it yesterday, I was like, oh my goodness, I know what I want to do. I want to do something different. So I am going to sew my Twiggy on. So it's going to be a little booklet, and then I'll work on the pages. And I've already started. So this is the front page. So that's like that. And Kylie's last video, she cut out a hole. I used the die cut, so I got a perfect circle just because that I just fancied doing that. It wasn't any particular reason. So I cut out the hole and I thought, oh, that's quite nice. I like that. And then I've got the circle, which I love because it's got that lovely orange. And I thought, oh, I could just pull it there. And I like that. It's very, very, very simple, but I like it. So then I thought, but then I've got this cut out. So I cut out a piece of in a larger size and I covered it in gold FW De La Rowney ink. It's very metallic. It's very shiny. Love it. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to put that underneath. So I'm just going to glue it. So that'll be like that. And then I'm going to have that over a bit. So it's like that. And I've no idea. I think I'm going to put Bacano on here. I might even put Bacano there. So that might be the first page. And then eventually, when I've got as many pieces as I feel that I want in the booklet, I will sew the twig on. And then you would just, obviously it'll only go to a certain bit. But once you make like a line, you'll be able to turn the pages. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on, those few bits, and it's really nice because it connects me in with the energies that are out in the universe. So it makes you connect better with where you are, your soil, your land, what is going on for you in your world. And I think it's going to be really I think it's going to be a really productive year for me connecting in this way. It's slightly changing my practice in a way. Or maybe it's more redefining my practice. Maybe that is a better way of looking at it. I've got 3 books on the go, which are 2 about seasons. And then I've got Kelly Harrell's new book that I got for Christmas, which is Elders to Ancestors, or Ancestors to Elders. I can't remember which way around it is. And that's all about animism and stuff. So this is my little bit of connecting in more with nature and bringing nature in more into my practice, although it's always been a massive part of my practice. Maybe it's more conscious connection, maybe. Yeah, and I just felt like last year that I needed to change a couple of bits, and the main bit was to drop following something that is really not me. And I think it was just because when I started out on my witchcraft journey, the books that I could buy were really, really just about Wicca. So I had to, as a sort of solo practitioner, you know, an eclectic solo practitioner, I could add in bits and take out bits, and that was fine. But I still was left with other energies of stuff that didn't even fit me. So it was, yeah, it just didn't work. So I felt like I needed that change, and I needed to be able to honor that feeling in me that was like, well, this isn't right. It's taken me a hell of a long time to get to that conclusion, but I don't mind that. I'm going to go around the edges with the nice, I'm going with, I love this one, Forest Moss. It's so dark, it's almost black, but it's just that, I love that really, really dark green and that foresty bit. So I'll go around all my pages with the same colour, so it'll have that continuity throughout. Oh, look at that, see that already. Let's go in the middle of that. So yeah, so I'm really looking forward to doing more with that practice. And then obviously the runes are massive for me, so they've become totally my staple for my path and how I work, and my birth runes, definitely how I work with them, what I'm looking at to change, how I can work and do shadow work and things. It all just connects in with that. And oh, look at that. Doesn't it make a difference when you go around? I love edging things. I've gone off track, but I get excited about the most simple things. It just makes such a difference when you darken these edges. I normally use, what's the one everyone uses? Vintage photo. That is the one that I quite often use, but when I want to do anything sort of more nature, I tend to grab the forest moss. It just, now that, see already what a difference that makes. So this is how my little mind works. I just this is how I actually do work. I'm all over the place, and I just go to one thing to another, and it just works for me. I mean, other people are so disciplined in the way they work. I can't work like that. It just kills my creativity. It's just so not me. So, you know, you have to really connect in with yourself and how you work, and don't try and, you know, copy someone else. You can admire and you can look at and you can take bits of someone else's practice if it really feels, you know, when you hear about it and it makes your heart sing, you think, oh my God, yeah, I've been missing that. I can use it, and you can. And then you can tailor it to yourself. And, you know, art is like that. And, well, life is like that. And spiritual practice is like that. You know, you can't follow someone else's stuff. It just does. Why have I gone round that? What a dickhead. Excuse me. That's not going to be seen. So I've wasted all that ink. That's because I was chatting at the same time. But who cares? Maybe I make another one and I could use that one on a different one instead of wasting it. Oh, maybe we don't cover it up completely then. I quite like that. So maybe the mistake was great. I quite like that. I wonder if I could maybe pull it down a bit. It would look a bit, do you know, I quite like that. I might darken that up even a bit more. That might be how I'm going to go with that. So with this, I'm going to put like words on it. So I want the Bacano rune on the front because that is my beginning. I might put spring on here. And then I might put what spring means to me. So I might have a word on here. So I think I might put the rune there. I might put spring down there, and then I might put renewal. That's where I'm thinking. I'm thinking white pen might be quite nice for that, because it'll show up nice if I can get my white pen to work lovely. So I'm going to do that off camera anyway. I've just watched a YouTube video of Wilma Wonders. I love her work. I love her journals. They're not quite how I work, although I'm quite envious. I would quite like to work like her, but again, you can't, you know, be exactly the same as someone else. But she did a video on lettering because she writes in all her journals, and that is one thing I don't do unless I use stamps, because I have a thing that my writing just doesn't look good. And she's got a course she runs anyway, but she did this video, and I can't remember the name of the video, but if you look at Wilma Wonders, I wish I could put it in the thing down below, but I don't know how to do that, and I know I should learn, but I like things to be as simple as possible for me. So yeah, she teaches you to not use your handwriting, but to use hand lettering, as she puts it. So it's make it the art, not like think about your handwriting. It's a brilliant video. Obviously she does more in her course, but the video is enough for you to get a sense of what she's talking about and how to write on your journals, in your journals, on your pieces of art, and not worry about what it looks like. You know, do capital letters, do lowercase, uppercase, do just wonky, do it, make it the actual lettering, make that part of the art. Don't worry. So you would do something like you'd go round there. So maybe yeah, so maybe I put spring round there. So yeah. And renew, I did quite fancy that across. But yeah, you follow certain things and you make it more arty. So anyway, I'm going to go. My tea got cold, which wasn't good. I might go and make myself another cuppa. I might go around all these edges. Yeah, mine. Well, I need to redo my piece that I got wrong, so I need to do that, and I want to get that done today. So I think that's going to be what I'm going to be doing. So anyway, love and blessings to you all, and I hope whatever you set out for the year and what you want to achieve and what you want to do with your practice and how you're working, I hope you have clarity, and I wish you good fortune and luck and all the things. It's quite a year because it's a 9 year, so we've got a year of completion. We've got the snake as a massive part of the energy of the year, so that's all about renewal, transformation and change, which is what spring's about. So it sort of really connects in, and as the year goes through, you can connect in with the snake energy, and you can see how it connects with the energies of each season, because it'll have a different type of energy each season it goes through. And also you can connect them with Bacano and snake, and that would be the snake completely shedding its skin. That's complete rebirth, complete transformation, renewal, regeneration. So it's all there. What seeds are you planting in spring? You know, I'm going to do a part in here where it's going to be like a seed type thing, where so it'll be like words that I want to plant for the year. So that's going to be one of these pages, I think. But we'll see as it goes along. These things just take shape as I'm going, and things change. See, that was going in the middle. Now it's not. I really quite like it like that. And I might even do something else in that section there, so that even that shows through. So I might even put a clear piece of something down, or a piece of fabric. I'm not sure. But yeah, it'll just grow as it grows. And yeah, and I'm going to go again. Love and blessings. Take care, everyone. Bye. See you in the next one.